Once upon a time, in a charming little kingdom, there lived a kind and gentle girl named Cinderella. She was as sweet as sunshine and as beautiful as a spring morning. But, alas, life wasn't kind to her. After her dear mother passed away, her father remarried a woman with a heart colder than winter. This stepmother came with 2 daughters who were just as sour as lemon peels. When Cinderella's father too passed away, her stepmother showed her true colors. Cinderella was no longer treated like family, but more like a servant. From dawn till dusk, she scrubbed floors, fetched water, and cooked meals, while her stepmother and stepsisters lounged around, bossing her about. But no matter how tough things got, Cinderella never lost her kind spirit or her ability to dream. Now, one day, a grand announcement swept through the kingdom. The king was throwing a magnificent ball at the palace, and every eligible maiden was invited. Why? Because the dashing young prince was searching for a bride. You can imagine the excitement. The stepsisters squealed and danced around in their frilly gowns, each convinced they would steal the prince's heart. Cinderella too dreamed of going to the ball. She even had a dress, a lovely gown that had belonged to her mother. But when her stepmother saw her plans, she cruelly laughed and tore the dress to shreds, saying, "You go to the ball? Ridiculous." Heartbroken, Cinderella ran to the garden, her tears falling like raindrops. And then, as if by magic, well, actually, it was magic, her fairy godmother appeared. She was a jolly little woman with twinkling eyes and a wand that sparkled like stardust. Now, child," the fairy godmother said. "No need for tears. You shall go to the ball." With a few waves of her wand, she turned a pumpkin into a gleaming carriage, mice into handsome horses, and a raggedy dress into the most beautiful gown you've ever seen, complete with glass slippers that glittered like diamonds. "But remember, dear," the fairy godmother warned, "the spell will break at midnight, so don't lose track of time," Cinderella promised, and off she went to the palace, her heart fluttering with excitement. The ball was everything she had dreamed of and more. The chandeliers sparkled, the music soared, and the prince, oh the prince, the moment he saw Cinderella, he couldn't take his eyes off her. They danced and laughed as if they had known each other forever. But then, the clock began to chime midnight. Cinderella gasped, "I have to go." Without explaining, she dashed out of the palace, leaving the prince bewildered, and holding one of her glass slippers, which had slipped off as she ran. The next day, the prince announced that he would find the mysterious girl who fit the slipper, no matter how far and wide he had to search. He visited every house in the kingdom, and of course the stepsisters tried their best to cram their feet into the dainty shoe. But when Cinderella's turn came, the slipper slid on as perfectly as if it were made for her, which of course it was. The prince knelt before her, beaming. "You're the one," he said. And just like that, Cinderella's life changed. She left her dusty old chores behind and married the prince in a wedding as grand as her dreams. As for the stepmother and stepsisters, well, they learned to keep their bitterness to themselves. And Cinderella? She forgave them because her heart was too full of joy for grudges. And so, Cinderella and her prince lived happily ever after.